I'm Andrew Cotter, Power Portfolio Specialist at Central Virginia Electric Cooperative here in Central Virginia in the heart of Shenandoah. When I talk to folks who aren't in the industry and they ask, what do you do? I get to give them a really simple answer. I buy electricity for 38,000 people. I kind of take a lot of my analytics skills and I support all sorts of folks in the operations of Central Virginia Electric Cooperative. A lot of what I do kind of on a day-to-day basis is I'm tracking information, I'm tracking data, and I'm gathering it. And a lot of the great thing about power supply, where I'm in, is power supply touches basically everything in the electric cooperative. So one of the benefits of me being there and tracking this information all the time and being comfortable is sometimes there's questions from folks who might not be in power supply that I can actually answer for them and give them some data and support, like how long do power outages take during the day versus at night? Now, the primary reason why I'm digging through all this data information is to support our power portfolio and making sure that we are purchasing electricity that can keep members' rates low and stable and affordable for as long as possible. My career has basically been with the electric cooperatives from the start. I was able to work at the National Trade Organization, NRECA, for almost a decade and a half. And that's really where I started my career and was working in the Business Technology Strategies group. Started off as a project manager, just helping little projects here and there, but towards the end I was managing a whole renewable research program, and it was a great exposure to the electric cooperatives. I got to meet folks from all over the United States and even the world, actually, who had the same sort of interest in new technologies and renewables and things like that. One of the great things about the co-ops, and NRECA included, is they're very supportive of continuing education. So I was able to get my master's degree while working at NRECA. And at the time, I think there's a lot of folks who thought, and I thought this way too, that you have to be an engineer. But it turns out you don't. There's all sorts of other skills that are needed, especially in sort of data analytics and understanding kind of how things work and how things function, being comfortable with data. One project that I'm working on right now, which in my opinion is probably the most exciting thing that I'm engaged with, is a new solar plus storage project that we're building here in Central Virginia. It changes the operations of our utility. Well, what this is doing is it gives us kind of a new tool. Moving forward, we're not just going to be comparing different contracts and power opportunities. We're going to be comparing those against our own generators. My knowledge of co-ops before I started working at NRECA was probably limited to some REI gear that I had. And I think even then, I didn't quite realize what they meant by cooperative, except that I got a discount twice a year. So I knew absolutely nothing about it, and I didn't know anything about really the energy industry. There's all sorts of opportunities at the electric cooperative. That's one of the things that I noticed pretty quickly, was there's a much larger variety of different kind of jobs. And I think really anybody who has interest in working for an organization that's really working with the community, that's really improving a community, that's providing something that people need, should consider working at their local electric cooperative. I think the type of work that I'm doing here, working sort of as analytics, is going to be the type of job that's going to be popping up all over cooperatives everywhere. The utility industry is changing. They need people to actually make the change really happen. And when you're at the electric cooperative, jobs are so broad and diverse, and you do so many things that you actually get to chip in to make these changes happen. I personally couldn't imagine really having any other job at this point, simply because I get to take these skills and use it every day and just see and feel and be around the actual change and process for something that I feel is really important, that the transition of the energy industry, and that I know is important for the folks around me. I'm Andrew Cotter, and I have a powerful career.